Hello, gentlemen. Today I'm going to break down some of the setups out of Jay Razum's Arizona offense that just dropped on the site last night. Now, this is mainly going to be trips tight end, but there's some tight Y off in there as well. And as you can see by the clips, this offense is extremely explosive. You get one play touchdowns against really any coverage. He's kind of figured out the bombs out of this formation, and it's just very easy to score. But of course, it's not just about bombing coverages. It's also about making your progressions and methodically moving the ball down the field, and Jay does a really good job at breaking that down for you. So if you're interested in the full scheme, like I said, it's on acemadden.com. Just become a member. You'll gain access to every single scheme we have on the site, including this one, and I promise it'll make you a much better college football player. Oh, and make sure to use code ZONA for 25% off. Now let's get into the video. Okay, so the first setup I'm going to show you guys is going to be drive post. Now this is Jay's favorite play. He has 6 different setups out of this play alone. It really is that good. You can do so much with drive post. So we're going to run this against random play, and this is his first setup. So the ball's on the right hash. That means you want your trips to be on the left. The ball's on the left hash. You want your trips to be on the right. Basically, when you run trip sets like this, you typically want your trips to be to the wide side because you just have better spacing, and it's just overall just way better. So what we're going to do is put the outside trips receiver on an out route or a speed out. We're going to hitch Y, which is our middle receiver or outside slot receiver. We're going to stem our tight end all the way down. So Y, A, L, B, hold it down, and then hold the left stick down till he goes all the way down to the line of scrimmage. And then we're going to table route the running back. And this is what your setup's going to look like. Okay, so I just realized that I called it a table route, and some of you might not know what that means. So if you look at your running back hot routes, we're going to hit wire triangle, and then RB, look at right stick up. It says flat. That is what a table route is. So if I say table, I'm referring to this flat route. So the way we're going to read this is we're going to start with the running back side. So the tight end and this running back flat route. And what we're going to do is typically check it down to the running back if we have it. But if we don't have anything on that side, we can move over to the hitch, because typically what's going to happen is if they're in like a cover 3 or cover 4, we're going to pull this flat zone defender off with this out route, and the hitch is going to be wide open for 15 to 20 yard gain. It just kind of depends, but overall it's going to be really hard to cover this out of cover 3 and cover 4. Cover 2 zones really the only thing that's going to give this a hard time, because there's going to be a hook zone over that hitch. So let's run this a few more times. Start with the running back side. See if you can check it down. In this case, hit the hitch again. Get your 15-yard gain. This is not going to get usered either. So that's one of the great things about this setup. And this has been good in Madden for a very long time. This kind of concept with this out and hitch out of a trip set. Very, very effective. In this case, I just didn't really like what I saw. Honestly, the running back check down was there, but wide open lane to run. So in this case, this is going to be maybe a cover 0. So what you should do here is try to get it to your tight end. But if it's not there, you can hit your post. So let's have a look here. Make sure you try to click on and make the catch yourself if you don't get a lot of separation versus man. But that post is also going to get separation. Just like this. And the last thing I want to mention about this setup is if they're playing off coverage, so in this case they are, even though it's man coverage, do not be afraid to throw the speed out to X, because it's probably not going to get covered. The only thing that's going to cover that is like a Tampa 2 cloud flap. So let's have a look. See what happens. You're going to see right here, you can throw the speed out. They play any kind of off coverage except for, like a hard flat or something like that. You're going to be able to get a very easy completion just like that. Next up, we have double in sail, and this is going to be really good against like a Tampa 2 or a cover 4 drop. So let's go ahead and demonstrate that against both. And the setup for this one is going to be streak your middle receiver, which is Y. Put your outside receiver on a post, so right stick up. Put your tight end on a drag or an in route, either one, it's up to you. And then block your running back. So most of the time you're going to be hitting this corner route. It's going to get above zone drops and just get into this nice spot on the sideline. And it doesn't take that long for it to get there. But the bomb aspect with this post does take a second. And it's also inconsistent. So like right there, the post isn't open, it's the corner route. So what I recommend doing in a lot of cases when you call this play is don't get greedy. Hit the corner route because it's probably going to be open. Yes, the post is fun to hit for a one-play touchdown, but at the same time, you can't really count on it because the safeties play inconsistently. Sometimes they'll bite down and there'll be a window, and sometimes he won't. But the corner route's pretty much always going to be open. So what I'm going to do is try to get this post open now. Let me spy this guy. Hopefully get a little bit more time. We'll see what the safety does on the right side. So like right here, it's not going to get open. But watch what the safety does. He plays just kind of weird. He's going to be very inconsistent here. Kind of like bites towards the middle of the field. I guess he realizes he has nothing really threatening him, so he kind of closes the middle of the field. But sometimes he's going to bite down and stay shallow, and the post is going to get open. And I can demonstrate that a little bit better with cover 4. Okay, so we're in a cover 4 now. Let me go ahead and turn it into a drop coverage by protecting the sticks. I'll spy this guy too, see if we get time to hit the post. And let's have a look at that right side safety. Let's see if we get him to bite down. We don't quite get him down. So we have to hit the corner out in that instance. And again, that's what's inconsistent about this game. Like these zones and like in match, these guys just play differently on any given snap, even against the same setup. It's very weird. We'll try to hit this. You're going to pass lead it like that, and there is going to be your huge gain. So let's go to instant replay so you know what it looks like. And I know it looks like a little scary, but as long as you pass lead inside, the safety is not going to make a play on it. And you see that in the clips earlier in the video. You see how he kind of like bites down, stays flat-footed, and then you can just bend it up the middle of the field? That's what you're looking for. And then I haven't really mentioned this yet, but you can, of course, just check it down if you really want to. Like if it's open, you can take it if you want. Get your 10 to 15 yards if the window's there, if the user's not covering it. I'd say the corner route is going to be the one open most of the time because the user is probably not going to shoot over there and defend it. He will probably stay in the middle of the field. So just count on the corner route. Look for the post. If you don't like what you see, either check it down or throw it away. And now let's talk about a setup where we add some motion. So we're going to use PA shot wheel for this play. And we'll just do random defense. And the way you're going to set this up is you're going to slant X your outside trips receiver. You're going to streak your tight end. And then flat your running back. So your play should look like this. We're then going to motion this outside trips receiver across and snap him right about here. So this might be a man coverage. And the way you're going to read this is you want to read the wheel from Y first. In that case, you know, it was man coverage, so he wasn't going to separate. But against off coverage zone, sometimes you can snap throw that wheel. In this case, it's zones. Let's have a look at the wheel. He's not really open. But this high-low over the middle of the field is really hard to user. Between this crosser and this motion slant, it's very difficult to defend this. So right here, this might be a man coverage. Here's the slant again, just wide open. This guy's following across. It might be a man coverage again. Let's see. It wasn't, but the crosser's wide open. I think that was a match. But overall, it's pretty easy play to run because it's just kind of about this high-low between this slant and this crosser. So I knew that guy wasn't going to play because he had his back turned. If that's a user, of course, you don't want to throw that. And we'll do it one more time. Read the slant and the crosser. Kind of sold me on the throw, but as you can see, wide open. So that's just a few of the setups out of our new Arizona offense that's now live on acemadden.com. So go check out the full scheme. Use code ZONA for 25% off on monthly membership. You'll gain access to this scheme as well as everything else that's on the site. See you guys in the next one.